Hello everyone. Oh, bye, okay. Welcome to another theatre vlog. You never watch me vlog, this is really weird. Today I'm going to a show that I've seen far too many times already, but yeah, I'm gonna see it again. That's how I'm starting this vlog. Leaving right now. Okay, yeah. It's the interval right now, and you guys know how much I hate public vlogging, especially when I'm on my own, so I'm not going to talk for too long. I am writing a whole list of notes on my phone of my thoughts on the show, so I can talk to you guys afterwards about it. There's a lot of things that have annoyed me during this show, so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you all. Yeah, interesting show. Obviously I'm home and it's that time of the video where I'm going to share my thoughts. I put something on Twitter that caused a little bit of a stir. I wasn't intending to, I wasn't intending the tweet to be like that, but it was. And now I look back on it, I'm like, maybe it was a bit shady. I'm going to talk about all of that later. Why I'm classing this as one of my potentially least enjoyable trips to Wicked. I'm going to talk about the show first and then go on to why I said that. So first things first, like an idiot, I forgot my glasses. Thankfully, we had really good seats in the stalls. I don't think I've ever sat in that row before, and I know it sounds weird, but I've seen Wicked a lot. So to come across a row that I'm like, I don't think I've ever sat in this row, that's quite fun. I enjoyed that. So we weren't too far back, so everything was a little bit blurry, but not so much that I couldn't obviously see what was going on. I mean, obviously I know this show basically inside out. I was actually thinking at one point of the show, like, if they threw me on the stage, maybe not to do like the choreography and the actual movements, but the lines, I was like, maybe I could do it. Maybe I could. Because when I'm watching the show, in my head, I'm thinking that this line's coming next, or I'm literally following along with them, with the lines. That was just something I was thinking about during the show. So that didn't help. The fact that I didn't have my glasses and everything was a little bit out of focus. That was not a good start to the show. Before we even went in, I noticed outside there was a lot of school groups. There was a lot of bunches of children. I say children, they were teenagers, but I just thought, oh damn, this is just going to be awful, because stereotypically when loads of school groups are in, they're not very well behaved. Surprisingly though, they were very good. They were very quiet throughout the show. They obviously cheered and applauded at the right times and reacted at the right times, and they were just a lot quieter than I thought they were going to be. Oh my god. We had all of the main principal cast members on, apart from Sue Kelvin, is that her name? Yeah, Sue Kelvin, who plays Madame Morrible. She wasn't on, so we had her understudy, Katie Hanna. Yeah, Katie Hanna, I think that's her name. She's very young. She's very young, Morrible, but I think her voice was really lovely, like her singing voice. Obviously, Madame Morrible doesn't sing a lot, but I find that for some Madame Morribles that I've seen, the bits that they do have to sing, like just before The Wizard and I, it's it's quite weak in terms of the singing, but she was really, and obviously because she must normally be in the ensemble, obviously she was fully trained, blah blah blah. I've really liked her little singing bits, and that's always quite nice when, yeah, the Morrible does actually sound nice with the singing bits. No shade to the other Morribles, but usually they're a lot older, so their voices maybe aren't as... I don't want to insult anyone, so I'm not going to finish that sentence. Anyway, Katie Hannah, she was a really good Morrible, and I really enjoyed seeing her, and I enjoy seeing understudies, so that was fun. Also, a new cast member for me was Nessa Rose, and who did I see? Let's find out. I just had to look it up, sorry about that. But I had Sarah McNicholas on as Nessa Rose, and just looking at her credits, I think I must have seen her in Evita. Credits say that she was the mistress in Evita, which I saw on its UK tour 3 years ago now, so I must have seen her then. But yeah, she was really good. It was nice to see a new Nessa because Katie Riley-Jones was in it for quite some time, and I'm not gonna lie, like I was thinking towards the last, like in the last year, I was like, we really need a new Nessa, and this is something I'm going to touch on a bit later on in the video, so bear with me. Okay. Let's talk about Willemine. I've seen Wicked a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean like over 100 times a lot. Any newbies to the channel, don't judge me. I was a crazy fangirl in my teenage years, and I've grown up, so don't worry. I have to say though, Willemine, when I first saw her, when she first did her London run in 2013, 2013 I think, I wasn't a fan. I'm straight up, I wasn't a fan, and it's interesting because with her and also Louise Dearman, I've really enjoyed hearing them sing things in concerts and what have you, and like Louise's album, I love her album, but as soon as they're green, there's something about them that I just don't click with, and that's fine, you know, because if we all enjoyed the same alphabet and yeah, we only liked one person, that would be really boring. I think it's absolutely fine to obviously have a different opinion, just respect each other's opinions, like don't hate on me because I don't enjoy Willemine's performance, because for example, I know some people that I've spoken to, they don't like Rachel Tucker's performance as Alphabet, and obviously she is my favourite, so it's like, it's fine, we have our differences, but I just find that I just don't love the way she performs the role, and that is fine. I respect her as a performer and what she does, because that role is hard, and she's done it a lot, and I respect that so much because she's done it in like, I want to say like four languages maybe? I could be totally wrong there. I could just be really tired of making things up. You know what, I'm gonna look on the cast thing so I'm getting my facts right. She's performed the role in 3 languages. I was close with 4. I was gonna say 4 or 5, and then I thought that's a bit much, but 3, yeah, that makes sense. There were some choices that she made this time round in her London run, well, her performance, that I did enjoy, particularly in like the Wizard and I in the line, I'd be so happy I could melt, and also in Defying Gravity, not her ending bit, I didn't enjoy her final, I didn't love that. What was it? There was just some little bits in Defying Gravity that I was like, yeah, I like that. Let's move on to the lovely Susie Mathers. Mathers, I've never really figured out how it should be pronounced, and I'm sorry if you're watching Susie, because Susie has watched some of my previous vlogs and that makes me laugh. She just gets better and better every time. I was actually really confused at the start of the show because obviously I didn't have my glasses, everything was a little bit blurry, and her accent has just, like, have a British accent has just got so much better, and I genuinely thought, is it maybe an understudy? Am I actually seeing her? It genuinely took well into No One Mourns the Wicked for me to be like, no, okay, this is Susie, this is definitely Susie. But no, she's just so funny. I love the like comic acting choices that I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I love her comedy, there we go, that's better. Her voice is just incredible, and I've said it before, but she gets the emotion of Glinda like really spot on as well in both like No One Was the Wicked, Defying Gravity, and in the finale. Oh my goodness, in the finale when she is like it's like she's silently sobbing, and like just everything in that finale that she does breaks my heart. And I think that she's probably going to be leaving in the summer, and that's going to make me sad, because she is really, yeah, she's a lovely Glinda, and she's also a really lovely person. I met her at the first show that Rachel was back, and I think at the 10th as well. Yeah, I think it was at the 10th birthday of Wicked that she was like, I watched your video, and I was like, what? She's just a lovely human being. She's one of those really like wholesome, lovely people. She's lovely. Did I say that? Did I say that she was lovely? I think I'll just say it again, like, she's lovely. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this show was where I was in the stalls, where I was sat, because yeah, you can just see everything, and it was really like, normally I sit further forward, and it's like you have to move to see everything, but to sit further back and just see everything is really nice, and to fully appreciate like the lighting from where we were. Like at the end of Defying Gravity, maybe it's just because it's been a while since I've last seen it, or if I was just paying attention to like more of the things, all the things, the lights at the end of Defying Gravity, I genuinely turned to my friends that I was with and I was like, has the lighting always been like that? Have they changed something? That was interesting. I really enjoyed where I was sitting, and that was really, yeah, good. Time for the rant. As I said on Twitter, for Act 1, definitely, this was my, like, the time that I'd enjoyed Wicked the least, and I don't know if that sentence made sense, I'm sorry. Basically, there was a mother sat in front of us with her two young children. I'd say maybe like 6 and 7, I guess, maybe even younger, maybe 5 and 6. As soon as I sat down, I knew, I was like, those kids need booster seats, like that isn't fair. Like they couldn't, like even with the rake of the stalls, like they couldn't really see over the people in front of them. So throughout the first like 10 minutes of the show, oh, another thing, they had obviously used the auditorium service, which is the worst idea ever. I'm sorry, but whoever came up with that idea doesn't want to enjoy the theatre. They had ordered something and it was delivered to them like literally 2 seconds or something before the show started, and it comes in like a paper bag which is rustling, and then obviously it's full of stuff, and I'll get to that later, but oh my god. So in the first 10 minutes of the show, No One Was the Wicked and etc., the kids are trying to like climb onto the mum's lap. Bearing in mind there's 2 of them and there's 1 of her, obviously. They're trying to climb onto her lap to be able to see what's going on, and one of the kids is like trying to, so the seat back is like this, and then obviously the seat like that where it, this is great, she's trying to jump on to sit on top of the seat folded up, and I'm already done. By the start of the show I'm like, no, please stop. And also people behind me talking through like the overture, and then No One Was Wicked, and someone down the row had their phone on full brightness still. I just get really annoyed. Anyway, the show obviously just goes on, and the mum and her kids, I realise, are foreign, they're not English. I think they were German, but I'm not sure. And the kids are obviously talking to the mum at some points during the show, probably asking a question like, what's happening, what have they said, what's so funny. And at some points the mum is answering their questions, but then the kids will reply to her, and then she's shushing them, and her shushing would end up being louder than them speaking. And that just didn't make sense to me, because I was like, what, like, why have you responded to your child and then you're shushing them? Because you're not enforcing the fact that you shouldn't be talking during the show. That just really annoyed me, because it went throughout the whole of Act 1, the constant thing of them asking a question, her replying, them saying something else, and her shushing them. And then as well, obviously they'd ordered from auditorium, and so to shut her kids up, she gave them packets of crisps and packets of sweets. Literally, the kid was chewing on crisps so loudly, like basically at like the quiet part of Defying Gravity. That's not cool. Thankfully for me, and sadly for them, they didn't turn up for Act 2. I presume either the mother realised that her kids were not at the appropriate age to kind of be able to sit through and enjoy a show like this, or maybe she got the vibe that they were annoying like everyone around them, because the couple next to them, the people in front of them were like turning around and doing the glare like shut up, and I would feel mortified if that was me and my kids. But I think as a parent you need to know when your child is at an age where they can handle something like that, because it's hard for kids to sit through a show, it's hard for them, for their attention to stay focused, and when it's not their language as well and they might not fully understand what's being said, like, oh, that's not fair. That's not fair to do that to your children. You're wasting a lot of money, you are ruining other people's enjoyment of the show. I just overall felt quite sorry for her, because obviously they couldn't see the show all the way through, and I feel bad for her for that, and I didn't want to say something to them during the show because obviously I don't want to be that person who is then shushing someone else. But as well, I'm always really scared that if you do something like that, that child is always going to think, if they're going to the theatre, that they're going to get told off. It's going to just put a negative like connotation to their thoughts on theatre, and I know that's getting a bit deep, probably not the case for most people, but I just worry that, oh god, what if I shushed a child and their parent at a performance and then they never want to go to the theatre again? I know it's a reach, but that's just how I feel. So theatre etiquette was a huge reason as to why I didn't enjoy the show as much this time around, and I've seen Wicked a lot. Like I mean, I get annoyed by people with bad theatre etiquette anyway, but it takes a lot for me to get like that angry. Something else that it like mildly irritated me during the show, it was an observation. Sitting that far back and not having my glasses on, therefore being a little bit blurry on everything, I realised, I was just thinking about like all the casts that I've seen, and realised that basically everyone on stage looked exactly the same as like the person they replaced. And I know that obviously they have a certain casting criteria for each character, and that it makes sense, but I was just thinking, this is something that I want to talk about in length in another video, but just quickly now, I was thinking, especially for a show like this where it's not like it's set in a certain time period or a certain story where everyone does have to look a certain way, I just thought, why do we have such a lack of diversity in a show like this, where ironically surely it should be championing diversity? It's just something I thought about, and I think it's an interesting topic, and something, yeah, that I'm going to talk about more hopefully in a future video. The last thing that I thought about during the show, and to be fair, this is not the first time I've thought about it, but it's the first time I think that I've voiced it in a video. I've thought of something like a phrase for it that really, it makes me laugh whenever I think about it, which is probably really sad. And it's the fact that I know that Wicked are very environmentally friendly, and they like to do their bit to help the environment and be green, as the catchphrase is, but I really wish they would stop recycling their alphabets. My camera battery just died as I was insulting Wicked for recycling their alphabets. I think someone is watching me. I mean, obviously you are. Oh god. I've been thinking this for a few years now, because we haven't had someone new to the like show of Wicked since, basically the crux of it is that I would love to see someone actually completely brand new play the role of Elphaba, and I feel like we haven't had that for a long time. When you think about it, we had, well, when I started seeing the show, Rachel Tucker, Louise Dearman, who obviously came back to the cast, obviously she wasn't Elphaba before, but she was Elphaba, and then it was Willamine, and then Kerry, and then Jenny Denoyer from Broadway, and then Emma Hatton, who got promoted from Standby, which I did really appreciate because Wicked doesn't often do that. So that was a nice thing. And then obviously Rachel came back, which was awesome. I'm a total hypocrite because I loved that she came back, but that is beside the point. And then obviously Willamine now. I might have missed someone out, sorry if I have, but I'd just love for someone completely new to get the opportunity to play Elphaba, or for someone to have this be their big break and be like, yes, I'm playing Elphaba, like someone that we don't know, someone that's never been in Wicked. As much as I enjoy like people being promoted to the role, that's awesome as well, but just someone new, someone fresh, that would be amazing. And I think the cast needs it. It seems like the team, the powers that be at Wicked don't seem to trust that someone new will still bring in audiences. And I mean, come on, this is such a massive show. I don't think for one second that they actually need like a big name or whatever to bring people to this show, because people will come and see it anyway. It's been in the West End for 10 years, for goodness sake. Can we take a risk again, please? I feel like this video has been really long, I'm so sorry, but that is my review of the show in its current state and a bit of a rant for you. Yeah, let me know what you think of Wicked at the moment and whether you agree with me. Do you think it needs just like a fresh green face, or do you disagree? Are you gonna hate on me because I'm not a huge Willow fan? I don't mind, you can hate on me, it's fine. No, please don't hate on me. Yeah, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, if you've seen Wicked recently, all that good stuff. If you have enjoyed this video, despite it being a massive rant essentially, please do give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I've got lots of actually exciting Wicked content from the last year on my channel. Don't know why my shoulders went all funny there, but yes, if you want to go and check those out, I'll pop some links in the description. There's been some really cool Wicked videos, like Rachel's first show back, the 10th anniversary. They did an event at the YouTube space, which was awesome. I got to see Jessamy Stoddart, who is the second understudy, getting painted green for the first time. That's all documented. So, and obviously Rachel's last show as well in the West End. So all of that is on my channel and links will be below. You can check those out. Yeah, I hope you're doing really well and I'll see you very soon. Bye!